Hello and welcome back to the DIY McLeod channel. Today we are going to be looking at the Ryobi 1 16 gauge straight finish nailer, the P325, as I test the nailer and then build a project with it. This tool is dangerous enough where reading all safety material and understanding the tool before getting started is necessary. It has two adjustment methods for nail penetration. The back has a switch to adjust pressure and the front has a turnable knob for slight adjustments. On first try, I would sometimes lift my finger too early and it would stop the process before placing a nail. The nailer allows for 3/4 inch to 2.5 inch nails. For my project, I bought a mixed box of Porter Cable 16 gauge nails that included 3 sizes, 1.25, 2, and 2.5 inch nails. The nailer also has a switch in the grip area that allows for a more automatic method where you hold the trigger down and depress the tip of the nailer to fire a nail. I preferred the standard method for my needs and would have most likely shot myself in the thumb with the automatic style during my golf club stand build. I decided to make a stand to hold my golf simulator controller, a bucket of balls, and my golf clubs so they can all be right next to the setup from my previous video. For the golf club stand, I used my Shapeoko 3 CNC to cut the top board shape in order to have evenly spaced club grooves and an easy and accurate 8-inch circle. I guess this is a good time to point out I do have a decent amount of other videos on my channel that may interest you if you're into Ryobi tools, tools in general, 3D printing, or CNC. Consider subscribing as the community is growing, and a lot of the community members like building and creating as much as you probably do. With this project, I did not want to really have too much of a plan. In reality, it was a spur-of-the-moment idea meant to use my new nailer for a quick build. Because for me, if I was going to take real time for a project, I would probably use pocket screws and better lumber. I used a good amount of glue because I did not necessarily think this project was going to work and wanted to give it its best chance. Most of the project felt like back in high school when I was trying to build the strongest bridge out of popsicle sticks. The nailer worked extremely well throughout the entire project, and only once a nail head did not fully penetrate the wood. I adjusted the pressure one up with the back switch and did not have that issue again. I try to keep my hands far enough away where if a nail curves through the wood and pops out unexpectedly, it will not hit my fingers. This nearly happened to me once with my last nailer and taught me to keep my hands away. I ended up putting enough stabilizers across the 3/4 by 3/4 inch legs to make it somewhat stable. But the base was way too narrow and caused the golf clubs to be nearly vertical, which caused them to fall out if the stand was bumped. I decided to build a base around the base out of some scrap poplar and 1.5 by 1.5 inch redwood. I actually focused on making the base straight and flat, and it worked. It firmed up the entire structure to a point where I literally went from hating this project to loving it. I added a 1/4 inch piece of scrap plywood to the bottom, all held with nails and glue, and in the end I have a golf club stand that is perfect for my needs. I ended up painting the project black, but left it somewhat distressed out of the fact I was running out of that paint since it was left over from one of my first projects on the channel. The angle of the wider base allows for the clubs to lean firmly into the grooves on top. I am able to now have my controls for the OptiShot 2 next to the hitting area, and my clubs are way more accessible than out of my bag like normal. Overall, I was able to complete this project in a few hours thanks to my Ryobi nailer. I didn't really need to come in with a plan because I knew I could just add supporting structure as I went. I'm really happy with the nailer and love the idea of building a quick sample design that I could then decide whether to build stronger with different methods of connection. If you found this video helpful, remember to hit like, and if you like videos and content like this, subscribe as I do a video about every 2 weeks.